Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. Today na Thursday, number 16 day for this month of November 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, una own countryman, sense past king, Mr. Nokoni. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where they bring una the truth, where they bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Our good people at home and abroad, I bring una revolutionary greetings. We go start with the most important thing, where na the big meeting where it take place for the United Nations Human Rights Council. Now one of the biggest body where they talk about human rights for the whole world. They don't get their universal periodic review, where na a very unique mechanism where the United Nations Security Council it don't put on where they call on members them for review the human rights situation for their countries them once in every 4 years. This mechanism it help the war for Shidong together for review the report of actions taken to improve human rights situations by every country and also to receive recommendations that inform stakeholders and also inputs that come from pre-sessions reports from the United States, from the United Nations members for continuous improvement. So now a very important mechanism where it take place 4 years for every country for the whole world. Cameroon government, their own time will be now on the 14th of this month. So then review the report with and drop on for United Nations. And many countries, they don't respond to their report. And I will try to highlight some of those things and for our people then for know. For Africa continent, will begin now only 2 countries then way they be there on the spotlight, Burkina Faso and Cameroon. The whole world for get time for focus on these 2 countries them for see which way they go on for they and the concern for the international community them. I go try to read some few part them for the report, a 20-page report with the Cameroon government it then submit them for that big body. According to that report, then talks to the Cameroon government, they need to prove which way it be happen for the last convention, the recommendation, the way they be making for the last convention. For the last review, one Ambazonian organization, SCAPAC, it be very prominent, it be quoted for this in several places them for talk about the case for Ambazonia. So we want for talk say, now one of those organizations in that way, they know they be very popular and they need to make a lot of noise for social media, but they be very effective for push Ambazonia case for places where they matter the most. So for this year, the Cameroon government then talk say for the rectification, the action the way they done take them since 4 years ago. Then talk say the United Nations, the Cameroon government it done rectify by degree the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability and Protocol of the African Union and Human and People's Rights on the Right of Persons with Disability. So now the kind recommendation, that way action the way they don't take them, the government intend for implement and accept recommendation progressively. Then show the one them way they try to work on in regard to the protocol for the Convention Against Torture and other cruel and inhuman degrading treatment or punishment. The deposit of ratification instruments are in progress. The International Convention for the ratify by Cameroon are internalized progressively. The head of state has signed degrees to rectify international, regional, and bilateral instrument. For some of the instrument, the rectification instrument have been deposited or are acted on not verbal, shared on and signed and rectified by degree. So the Cameroon government they try for show which way they don't do them for the international community and talk about their interaction with human rights defense groups and civil society. The interaction it also come down and it be very long, but I will go down to some of the part them way our public then be more interested in when at the part way concern Ambazonia. It day for section 3. I go read them the way we day, and pardon me if I not translate them perfectly, but I go read them so that people then where they no get time for read the document, they will get a chance for hear which we talk. He said the situation in the northwest region and the southwest region. The government continue negotiation with the view of obtaining peace in the regions. The record we then quote them for the for on page 64 for the. In addition to the liberation of hundreds of separatists, a major national dialogue was organized on the 30th of September and on the 4th to the 4th of October 2019. When I remember, I said the document in the talk now 4-year review. So to discuss the aspiration of the people. At the end of it, recommendations were made. It appendix, that means the entire recommendation for this document were made, and implementation thereof is going under the supervision of the committee. In prelude to the major national dialogue, 18 official discussions were held by the government in Buea, Bamenda, and in Yaoundé. Number 22, the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee, the NDDRC, was formed by degree number -- for 2028, with reception centers in the regions. The reconstruction and development plan of the said regions under execution was adopted. The plan, with significant achievement rate, aim in particular to restore social cohesion, reconstruct and rehabilitate basic infrastructure, and revive local economy. Concerning judicial response to abuse, they put the quote of the documents that were cited: freedom of expression of human rights situation in the said regions is a reality. Subject to security measures, the United Nations and active institutions in the promotion and protection of human rights have access to the said region. The CHRC has head office in each of the region. Expert from the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights carried out a mission to the said region from the 5th to the 26th of September 2019, while agency of the United Nations system, such as the HCR, have offices in the region. Separatist leaders who were arrested in 2018, later tried, convicted, and sentenced, are detained in Yaoundé main prison, where they undergo conditions provided by law. They can be accessed by International Committee of the Red Cross and other international institutions. In 2022, officials of the CHRC visited them. So basically, that was it concerning Ambazonia in the report of the Cameroon government. You also get a submission by the United Nations, where the Human Rights Working Group on the Universal Periodic Review, they submit them. The report was prepared on the 14th of September 2023 and submitted this November 6th to the 17th. Then list all the recommendation where the United Nations be done make for Cameroon for several areas. Them you get one for equality and non-discrimination, human rights and counter-terrorism. For this context, then talk say the committee on the elimination of racial discrimination recommended that the Cameroon ensure accountability and the end of impunity by conducting effective, thorough, and impartial investigation into reports of violations of human rights perpetrated by security forces in the context of counter-terrorism measures, as well as human rights abuses of non-state actors and armed groups. He also go down for talks. The committee must make sure say measures are adopted by the Cameroon government in counter-terrorism, that it do not discriminate against ethnic, endo-linguistic, and religious group indigenous peoples, and guarantee that detainees have the rights of due process and the rights to challenge their detention and conviction under law number -- So you get other other issues them for recommendation for administrative and justice, including impunity and the rule of law. You get the fundamental freedom and rights of participation in public and political life. You get where UNESCO also get input and other organizations and get input, rights to work, etc., etc., several of them. I think I will publish the documents on my YouTube as a post, and I'll also make sure say we come back can get a thorough special edition for review this particular committee regarding the issue of indigenous people and minorities. He also get 4 paragraphs where he talk about issue them where it concerns the people of Ambazonia as well. The United Nations report also about specific regions and territories. Then get paragraph where he also include Ambazonia for the where I will read part of them. They say the Committee for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination was deeply concerned about the widespread violence and lack of security in the Northwest and Southwest regions experienced since 2016 due to the attack and clashes between security forces and the armed separatist group, as well as in the far north, where non-state armed groups, including Boko Haram, carried out terrorist attacks against civilians. The same committee was also concerned about the report of internal ethnic violence in the Lagoon region. The Committee for Economic and Social Rights recommend that the Cameroon take steps as a matter of urgency to ensure enjoyment of convention rights by the people living in areas affected by violence and lack of security, particularly in the Northwest and Southwest region. The same committee also urges the Cameroon to conduct thorough independent investigation into report of violence and destruction of hospitals, schools, and entire villages, particularly in the Northwest and Southwest regions, in order to ensure that those responsible were brought to justice and sentenced to penalties commensurate with the gravity of their actions. In the Northwest and Southwest regions, the Cameroon allegations continue to be made regarding human rights violations and abuses perpetrated by security and defense forces and armed separatist groups against civilians, including killing and the destruction of property. In addition, forced lockdown, the use of improvised explosive devices, and the kidnapping of civilians by armed groups limited the delivery of much-needed humanitarian assistance. For number 64 for the document, it talks to the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination recommends that the Cameroon adopt measures to achieve a peaceful solution to the crisis and the spread of violence, including prioritizing national reconciliation and transitional justice processes in the Northwest and Southwest and Far North regions, a guaranteed protection of ethnic, ethno-linguistic, and ethno-religious groups and indigenous groups with the effective and meaningful participation of representatives of these ethnic groups and indigenous people, civil society organization, and Cameroon Human Rights Commission. We go broken down for pidgin and for explain them later on. The British government, they don't publish their own response to the report. It done be reported just a few hours ago. So the British government, the official statement, they say, I'll read them because it's been a very short response. They say, thank you, Mr. President. The United Kingdom welcomes the government's publication of the annual Human Rights Report as an important way to raise awareness and increase transparency. We encourage the government to further strengthen this reporting, including by providing more details on efforts taken to hold perpetrators to account. We recommend that Cameroon, number 1, develop effective measures to prevent and address acts of violence, including acts and threats against civilians, medical personnel, and patients, particularly in the Northwest and Southwest regions, in accordance with Security Council Resolution 2286. Number 2, introduce stronger legal protection for persons in marginalized and vulnerable situations, including by reinforcing legislation to ensure accountability for acts of violence against persons belonging to ethnic minority groups. Number 3, amend the 2014 law on the suppression of acts of terrorism to align it with international human rights standards guidelines issued by the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of human rights while countering terrorism. Thank you. That was from the United Kingdom Foreign Ministry and their response to the report of the Cameroon government. So we'll bring up more details about this document, and it'll be very important. The last day we'll be here, our soldier then for inside Ngokitunja, they also talk. They say they hope say the war go shidong for try for solve this problem. Make a play the audio for our general.
Finally, they've been a land of promise. So we don't tire the promise, and they died. And they kill him when they kill our mama and our papa and unborn child. As they kill them, so we Amazonian citizens and soldiers will not let them. As we don't let them, so we beg on God, may put His hand for inside these crisis, so that the international body, the UN, they will look into this matter and solve out this matter for the way at least we go be free for our own country on our own, because they don't overpromise we, and we're not even two people there. That the Republic of Cameroon, where the president Pobia Bivondo. So we not fear them. We just be as we be. We defend our people them, and as we feel defend them, because we not be learned for. My way don't say we make mistake. That means say if you get any idea for TV or any advice, because man not know or even teacher student already.
So for all our soldiers them, as the day for ground they fight, they wait say the international community and the United Nations they go sit down, they go look into the matter. We also now our own responsibility, we too for be able for talk for them so that me then look into the matter. And we'll make sure say me they hear our own point of view. Because if they sit down for they talk, would they only fight, would they only argue, we need to find way they go use them for talk for the people for way they hear. When they go they sit down, they talk all they talk them, we know our voice is not go there for inside. We'll be see the walkways kapak if you do them, if you look the last report, if you already find plenty because if you bring the truth to the table. So these type of things are very critical. Now either way, sometime would the advise say me will begin behave for some way. People then there for the way they spy for this international community would they treat them for some kind of bad way. People where they be the talk say wanna attack United Nations, wanna they see now say if we wait say na the United Nations they go shidong they check the matter, then why would some person go can talk say go begin attack them? Why it go be say when United Nations they are monitor them, people where they come for can share even chop they act like monitor because they are report to they go very far. If you hold them for road, you seize their motor, you begin maltreat them, then they go begin now how they go solve their problem, how they go begin talks on talk where go favor you. Now the thing then this will need for educate ourselves them. We know how the international community will work. Because as we fight, we go, we do thing them, we do some kind of thing them way, the same people them way they will go hell way, they will look and say, now how they will do. If they want really help the people, them sure say na people this way they will do good for their own people. So our action them, the way we they act, the way we they do thing them, it need for be for way it go they kaju this international community them meet them be for way when they will look into the matter, it will look for our own favor. But the day as a day would not make plenty achievement them because we don't drive Cameroon administrators, we don't delegitimize them, we don't make sure say no man enough it turn up talk say na people for Ambazonia vote them, meet them be mayor, senator or parliamentarian. Now the thing then this way we fight them. We need to fight now against our own people, and we need for know these sayings very well. Now either when I say Cameroon, they are agent them, their job now for make sure say me we not know this sabi this thing them. Me gonna begin confused, we not know where to be good, where to be bad way, and when I say go spoil the good thing when they fight for if we not know, because even Bible said it talks say lack of knowledge, my people die because of lack of knowledge. So knowledge is power. We have to know the truth. We have to know how things are done. We need to be able to do things that can bring result, because we can just be fighting like this for the next 40 years and nothing will happen if we don't know how to make our own case in the very proper way. So it be important make all organization them know this one, all forces them know this one, and they go to begin see the need for align with political movement, then way they feel hell for make their case very properly, or people where they not go undermine their case, because plenty things in the way they distract we. And amongst those things, they wanna know I'm on a thing we sabi, but we'll be obliged for serve our people and for serve the place where we come out our country and Bazunia, because we get now only one place. We'll be condemned for fight unto free our people then, because we not accept the situation where it be before us. So my fellow country people, because of lack of time, I will go continue with a special edition for help for explain this thing them very well, and also for put out some updates. Then we will not be able to include them for the podcast due to short of time. Capo Daniel, looking out for you, signing off.